Start the stream now. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Discord. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to go over real quick. I was talking to the community about the difference between Apex and Top Step. Real quick with you guys, Top Step is another funded broker account. I do have to get us a link with them. They're a special request for a what's it called? Like if you want an affiliate with them, you gotta like speak to them, fill out a form, all this stuff. Apex, I had a bit of a connect, but so I'm looking for Crude to come back into this 15-minute fair value gap. This is where we just got longs before. Sniper entry on that 4.4R. Fantastic trade. And so you guys know I'm not, bullshitting. Show you guys. I would never. You're absolutely right. Look at this entry. 67.87, right at the fair value gap. Target right over here. I think I did stop out before. So I did not get that full fill. But I do think that's still like a 3-to-1 or something. Still a good risk to reward. 4-to-1. Still a 4-to-1. So complaining I am not. It's a great trade. 10 out of 10 would take it again. YouTube, good morning, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. Market opens in... Oh, market is opened. Excuse me. So let's close some stuff up. And let's let the fun begin. I was telling the members of the community how Top Step works. Top Step, when you pass a funded account, they give you good buying pressure on NASDAQ right now on Bookmap. Same with the ES and Crude. I'm going to put Crude down here so we keep an eye on Crude with us. Crude hit a 5-minute fair value gap right here. I'm looking at the 30-minute. I wanted a good 30. That's a great basing 30-minute right there, man. Oh, wow. Okay. If we get a re-entry here at the 15-minute fair value gap, I'm definitely taking it. I do think we might want to hold this 5-minute fair value gap to push higher. So we're going to have to see. The 30-minute looks bullish. Good buying pressure. I just mentioned that on the NASDAQ because I saw that on our Bookmap tool. Love Bookmap. Bookmap showing us what levels are strong. Showing us buying pressure versus selling pressure with the bubbles, the volume we have. Really a fantastic tool. I would 100,000% recommend people use it for day trading or scalping, whichever. Now, this is, we're going to work with two charts, right? So we're going to work with our ESNQ, and I know I took the weighted index out of this one for crude oil for right now. I do have the weighted index on another screen, so I will be keeping an eye on it. And on our other tab... What is it? Control 1 and 2? No, Shift 1 and 2. Nope, not Shift 1 and 2 either. Is it Control 1 and 2? It is Control 1 and 2. So on the other tab, we have crude oil. We have gold and silver, so I could look for divergence with gold and silver. And we have the dollar, right, Dixie? Isn't dollar supposed to go inverse of gold? Moves with it. Opposite. Oh. So what's gold? Gold has a inverse correlation with something. Yeah. Gotcha. Guys, we have a 2-hour demand zone right here we're coming into on the ES that we're coming out of, I should say. So because we're coming out of a demand zone and some sell-side liquidity, I'm going to be looking for a 15-minute fair value gap to form outside of this zone. And that's what we will look for potential longs. If we look at the 15-minute time frame on ES and NQ, look at this basing candle we have. Basing, small red body, longer lower wick, very little upper wick, and boom, big impulse move higher. The ES, not the cleanest of a demand zone, but we're still looking for that impulse move out of this demand. I'm in for a small buy on ES. Nice. What's up, Adrian? Good morning, bro. Good morning. Good morning. It is. Great way to start the Monday with that crude oil trade. Man, Marziti, man, I'm blaming you for those crude oil shorts last night. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Aw, man. Dude, yeah, man, I can't tell you. I took crude probably tried short 4 times last. No, 3 times. 4 times. I was maybe two for 4. It was just no, 3 times. I tried here, stopped out here, and then when we came back up into this zone, oh no, it was over here because it was this zone. I tried short here on this candle because this looked like a nice rejection off of this zone. Stopped out right up here, and once we came back up one more time, I did have an internal buy side liquidity, which we've seen for a few days now on crude. Took that short and caught this leg right here. Could have held it for a nicer move to this recent low. At this point, though, I didn't want to look for any more shorts because we took this low out great, but now we started to create wicks, and we didn't take this low out, and if we look to the left, we're creating higher lows. So that's sort of what kept me bullish today, too, as I was looking for bulls. Crude is trying to come back into that zone again. I said I would take it if we came back into it, so we're going to see. Guys, give me a half a second just to throw something out so my cat doesn't eat it. Yo, good job, Adrian. Yo, if my cat jumps on the keyboard, he will buy or sell for me if he jumps on that B or S. B or S, that's funny. I just realized that. Alright. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Yes, some buying pressure. Meta new high a day. Amazon new high a day. Nvidia new high a day. Hello, bulls. Yep, Nvidia, ES, NQ, new highs. Not new high a day, but new high since market opened, right? So we have to be aware of what's new high of day and what's new high of market open. Very nice pumps there. Good buying pressure this morning. We could take a look at our ES and NQ. Great buying pressure. Some icebergs trying to step in on ES here, but very weak, right? They're smaller. Some absorption coming in too. Very good. Good to know. Good to know. Oh, cool. Was that your only option? Ah. I'm so funny. Daily, crude, what are you doing on the daily? Ooh, I like that break above that previous day high. Again, I'm looking for crude longs again in this 15-minute fair value gap. We see we're on the 15-minute time frame right here. We had an inverse fair value gap right before it too, so this is a pretty strong area. The reason I would look for a re-entry is because Friday gave us a 15-minute fair value gap here, a new high a day target hit, and then it gave us a re-entry, new high a day target hit. So because of that, I am looking for similar price action on crude. We're coming into this fair value gap now. I will not be the first person to jump in longs, though. Will not be the last person to jump in longs. But we have to remember, when I say we won't be the first to go long, we won't be the first to go short, I basically mean, like, if I'm going long here, I'm not going to be the first person to catch the very, very bottom and then the last person to catch the very top. it's very hard to see that. Right now, if I tried to go long here, who's to say we're not going to continue dumping? This was a strong selling candle, right? A selling bubble right here. Who's to say we're not going to continue lower? So I'm going to be patient. I'm going to let the 5 close. I really wanted to see if we could hold that low, though, because I wanted the 15 to continue higher. I'm sorry, not the 15, the 30. 30-minute, I wanted us to sort of base out, find our re-entry down here, and then push back higher. So what's the stop loss on that? I might market order that into that. I do want to be a little careful. I want to keep a very small risk on this. Good buying pressure again on crude. We're looking for crude now. Not looking for, I know a lot of people ESNQ. I'm just not feeling it right now. When they're not trading in my I don't want to say my quote unquote expertise, but if it's not fitting my style, I'm not going to trade it. So we did get the retest of that zone on crude. I will be looking for longs if we get one more retest. So far, crude gave us a nice 4-1. Let's see if it wants to give us another good setup. We'll look for another new high a day above VWAP. Looking for up here now. That's an even better setup. That's an 8-1 if we get a retest and hold that low. So we're going to have to really wait and see. The 5-minute doesn't have a lower wick on this candle, which tells me there is a good chance, because it's only been 1 minute in the 5-minute, that we could push lower for a sec. So I'm going to see if we could push lower and, again, hold this low right here. If we hold that low, I will get some longs on crude oil. We will look for a 68.53 as a target. This is an 8-1 risk to reward right there. So we're just going to wait and see, be patient on it. Now, just because it's a good risk to reward doesn't mean the trade itself is good. We have to wait. We have to be patient, get some confirmation, and then we'll take it from there. Thank you. That's probably super important to know if we're trading the market. Is it not, or is it not? Chicago PMI? Yeah, we're definitely going to wait then. Sorry, crude. I don't know. Nah, PMI, that should be moving the market a little bit. Give us some type of reaction. I don't know. It's, you know what it is? I have this set up on crude. The 30-minute looks bullish. And again, Friday's price action giving us 2 great plays in this fair value gap, 15-minute fair value gap. Why would it not do the same, right? Why wouldn't it continue? And again, not for nothing, if we're looking at this fair value gap and we're looking at this move right here, this fair value gap, all it is the bottom of this current range. And what do we do when we see ranges? We buy the lows, we sell the highs. So this would just be buying the lows of this range. So I'm going to be a little patient. That is a great reaction off of that zone. We had, look at this, we had an iceberg in there at that big sell bubble. So that could have been my, hey, take an entry here, tight stop loss, let it ride type deal. So I am patient right now. We have 2:15 left in the 5-minute. 15 closes in 2 minutes as well, and I really wanted to see strong candles on the 15s on ES and NQ. I wanted the 30-minute to rally on crude. So again, that's sort of why I was bullish on crude, because if the 30-minute could rally, we're not only going to get this target, but we're probably even going to get this target up here. And that would lead in, that's an 18-1, guys. I'm sorry, but that's wild. But that's only if it hits. It wouldn't be that out of the ordinary for it to hit. I wish we didn't have news, or I would definitely be taking this trade. But right now, I'm not taking this trade. We got news, it's not worth it. Let's see. And we still don't have a lower wick on the 5-minute. So I'm just staying crazy patient. ES also sort of ranging, NQ sort of ranging, but not ranging in the sense that if we look closer, if we zoom in, we have a bit of a trend. But staying patient on everything right now, especially because we got news out when? In 2 minutes? Now 1 minute. What do you got? I'm glad we took that one crude trade earlier, dude. That was great. That was great. I was shooting for 1,000 as my daily goal today. Lately, again, because I've been trying to grow this smaller account, I've been trying to just like risk 100, risk 150 to make 500. So again, that's or 4 to 500, and that's a good range, right? Risks or reward wise, that's a good range. If your winners are netting you 400 and your losers are netting maybe 125, 150, if you have 2 or 3 winners, you're going to be up 1200. Then you could have 3 or 4 or 5 losers and still be in the green on your account, you know? And that's what really helps our psychology to not get worn down so fast. So we have news in about 10 seconds. Let's see if it does make an impact on the market. Right now, I don't believe so, because, you know what it is? We're very light on ES and NQ right now. A lot of times, they'll just pull everything. Yeah, so here's that news candle. I don't know. Did not make that much of an impact out the gate. I'm going to still wait on Crude here. I do want to see if we could tap in one more time into that 15 fair value gap. We might not. No, we might not. I might take this, I'm considering now, because we're probably not going to. But I don't want to, the problem is I don't want to chase it even with using Bookmap, because the problem with chasing it even using Bookmap is, it's stop loss and take profit. It's very difficult. I mean, this is now becoming a 4 to 1. 4 to 1 is still great. I'm not complaining over a 4 to 1. But let's say I was even going for a scalp, a 2 to 1 or something. 2 to 1 is garbage compared to being patient for an 4 to 1, a 5 to 1, a 6 to 1. Those are, again, the great setups that will help you and help build your confidence. Yeah, there's that crude oil buying pressure, man. That's something, dude. Damn, so this really would have worked out as another entry, that 15-minute fair value gap again. And that's why it's so important to take note of what the market's been doing recently. Anybody who's just joining now, I mentioned crude oil Friday. It gave us a 15-minute fair value gap after coming out of demand. And it gave us one entry 15-minute fair value gap. And the entry was on the 5-minute chart. So our entry would have been after this 5-minute close right here. Stop loss at the low. We would target a new high, which would be right up here. So that would have been a great risk to reward. And then it used that zone again. And again went to a new high of day, taking out that previous high. So because it did that twice, I was really looking for it to do that again. I was looking for it to hold, push up, come back, retest, and push up one more time to then take out this high. And I really wanted to see if we could take out these highs as well. So that's where we're at on Crude. YouTube guys, drop that like, drop a comment. Discord guys, what are you guys trading? Have you guys taken any trades yet? Do you guys want me to show you anything? Do you want me to stay more on ES and NQ? That's certainly fine if you do. You could always watch Crude on another chart. That's no problem. You guys want to see ES? You guys want to see the NASDAQ? I can show you guys the NASDAQ on Bookmap. NASDAQ on Bookmap, guys, we could see right out the gate how different they are. Right, so let's sync our charts. So we could see how big these levels are, how fast these levels move on the NASDAQ, and then we could see how ES is moving in relation, right? And we see that ES has strong levels maybe 4 or 5 points away to the upside, 4 or 5 points away to the downside. NASDAQ has them everywhere. Yep, ES is in a chop zone. We're in this little range area, consolidation point. NASDAQ is a bit stronger at the moment today. I like that 45-minute supply. 20,000, 357 is a nice target, about 100 points on the NASDAQ. You see this big buy bubble that came in, absorbed this level. But then we reversed at that point, right? So where did we reverse? Where was this? This was just at these highs right here. 940, yes. Just recently. We're only looking at, let's look at 20 minute. So now we have 20 minutes worth of data on our chart. So we see a strong level, 20,270. Pretty strong on NASDAQ. We have, I don't really see any lower levels. ES, same thing. Levels to the bottom, levels to the top. Not much else. So again, we're just ranging right now. Really no reason to be jumping into anything. We had, look at this pretty strong, look at all these buyers trying to step in, sellers absorption stepping in. A lot going on this ES chart. What's today's Friday? No, today's Monday. Why did I just say it's Friday? Brain's fried. It's only Monday. I'm going to be careful with Crude because I am still looking for those longs if it wants to come back in. But now we only got 10 minutes left in that 30. That's interesting. We are below previous day's low on ES and NQ. Now, we're not below it right now. We did break back into that range. But, what's it called? We did break it overnight. Alright, Crude is trying to come back into that area. That was a pretty big rejection candle on the 5-minute. So we're going to wait and see. We see NASDAQ is a bit stronger. Weighted index chopping around at the moment. So I would not take any positions right now on NASDAQ or ES. Alright, Crude, what's the move, baby? Are we taking this long or are we not? There's a re-entry of that zone. Not jumping right on in. I want to see something to tell me buyers are going to step in. If not, I'm just looking at this as sellers. And I don't care about the zone. I care about the volume. Volume moves the market. Zones don't move the market. Zones tell us where volume might be. So what's great is we could use a tool that tells us where the volume is showing up. And then we could use our zones to tell us where we think there's a higher probability of volume. So we're not staring at the chart 24/7 thinking, is volume stepping in here? Is it stepping in here? Is it stepping in here? No, we know to be patient for volume or something to step in down here. They're pulling this level of support right here. I don't know if it's because they don't expect price to continue lower or what. Oh, sorry. Let's see. I might go super light and give this a shot. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of the volume that's trying to step in here. I do have my finger ready to shoot buy at a 67.87. But again, we're really not seeing much good buying pressure step in. We're starting to stall. We're trying to stall out here. 68.19 would be our upside. We'll see. We'll give it a shot. Just one crude oil contract. Ooh, it might just completely, instantly reverse on us. Yeah. That's okay. We're in one crude oil contract at 67.86. Stop loss is that previous low, that recent low, that it's about to tap right now. Might play around with it a little bit because we might hit that low and then reverse. So I'm gonna be a little more patient on that side. Really want to see good buying step in here. Just like last time we left the zone, great buying pressure came in almost instantly. So that's what I want to see on Crude. I want to see a good reaction out of this zone. There we go. Nice, 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 nice. We need continuation, strong movement. Want to see support build up below us. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. If we could hold this, we could look for a nice... Nice trade. Yo, my cat's jumping on the monitors from behind the monitors right now. You think that's his way of telling me to get out of this trade? Yeah, no, literally. Literally. I like that reaction out of this zone. So we're going to hold these longs and we'll see. Maybe wait for the 5 to close. But, yeah. Really need buyers to step in one more time here. I will be moving my stop loss up to this candle's low, because I want this candle to continue higher. I want a rejection right here. Good buying right there, but look at that, we do have a bit of a, what's it called? Yeah. Oh my god, iceberg, that's the word. Drawing a blank. We gotta break that iceberg, like, right now. That 57 we see sitting there on CL, we need a strong break of that. Without that, we're gonna drop. 8 seconds, not a fan, guys. Not a fan of these longs. That iceberg's telling me we're gonna hold lower. I really want to see a break of it. I don't think we are, though. Icebergs are meant to be there to hold, to push us lower. That's what icebergs are. They're literally, they're walls. They're supposed to work as walls in the market. So it's hard being long against a short iceberg like that. That's why I really want to see a good break above it. If we get a good break above it, it should give us the volume we need to push back higher. So there's the break above it. We have to be careful though, because we got the break above it, all of those orders were filled. Good buying pressure right there. Love it, Crude, love it, Crude. I love you, Crude. Let's see. Good buying pressure, all right. Okay, book map. Okay, Crude. Does it want to continue here? Does it want to reverse here? I like that buying pressure. Big buy bubble there, big buy bubble there. I want to see continuation with the buying pressure. Just like that. Just like that, Crude. I love it. We love to see it. We love to see it. Monday mornings, Monday money. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. I almost want to take profit there, but that buying pressure? I don't know, man. That was pretty strong. That was pretty wicked. It's starting to get weak up here, though, which is a bit of a red flag. And because we were weak the last time we came out of this zone, I do want to be a little careful. I might close this. Give me another pump. Yeah, that's it. Give me like a strong pump right here. There we go. I'm gonna probably get out on the next push higher, because I'm not a fan. It is trying. It's doing its best. It's still coming out of the zone. How's the 5 minute look? 5 minute just looks a little bit more bearish, which is keeping me a little more on the defensive side, which is why I want to get out on the next push higher and not be greedy. Because we came out of the zone twice now, so the zone is starting to lose its strength. Icebergs are again trying to stack up to the bear side. Really want to see that 5 continue higher, but you see how these sellers are starting to step in? I'm going to be moving my stop loss up, so my loss is even smaller on this if we want to reverse. But now I could sort of hold it too, in case buyers do want to step back in and hold us. So we're going to wait. I'm definitely not a big fan of where we're at right now buying-wise. I'm probably going to give it a minute or two. Let the 5 close, maybe. Because if this 5 wants to engulf and close up here, that would be huge. Could probably add at that point. But if we don't, we could just continue to the downside. Because again, this zone has been used a few times. The 5 does look a bit stronger to the bear side. I'm probably going to look to even move my stop loss to break even. Because I don't want to lose on this trade at all. So we're moving our stop losses to break even. The sellers are trying to step in. Again, I sort of just want to get out of this trade right here. But I wanted buyers to bring us higher from the zone. So I want to let the 5 minute close. But now at this point, if we start to dump for this last minute and this last 5 minute candle, we're going to dump. So right now my stop loss is very close to my entry. Just like a point away. And I really want to see if we can make another higher low out of this zone. Higher low right here compared to this low to push us higher to make a higher high. This could be a huge trade, or this could be a small loss, and that's exactly how we want our trades to be. Selling pressure is again trying to step in on crude. It is very weak though, so I don't want to jump out of this trade before the 5 closes just for, let's say, in 20 seconds for it to close really bullish. If it does reverse and push lower, I have my stop loss right near break even. I have no problem with that. ESNQ with some bearish momentum. I don't know how I feel about that 5-minute on crude. I'm not a big fan of it. I do feel like bears might just want to take us. Yeah, I'm out right there. We're out of crude right there, guys. Because of this sell bubble right there, this break right there. If this breaks lower, then we're done. So we're out. We're done. 2 for 2 today. That was a break-even trade on crude. It was like a $10 game, but that's a break-even if you ask me. Now, we might be retesting the zone, so I do want to see if this big seller wants to get trapped in the market. If we end up trapped in the market at that point, what I'm going to do is look for a long position, somewhere like over here. Yeah, like right there. But if this seller isn't trapped in the market, guess what? We might see potential for sellers to step in some more, bring us maybe to 67.59. And that's in this demand zone over here, right above the demand zone, I should say. So I'm staying patient. I want to see a reaction. If we get back above 67.89, I'll consider a long. We'll give that a shot. 67.90. Stop loss 67.80. So we're sort of just keeping it tight. Trying to see if crude does want to find buyers in this zone. Because again, look at this lower wick now. If this lower wick wants to hold and this 5-minute pushes higher, that's great. This could be a harami candle right here for a reversal out of this zone. So patience right now. Stop loss, like the low of this 5-minute we're at right now. I might go stop me right here. If that happens, we're done for the day. I want to see strong buying come out of here. Strong buying. Come on now, crude. Let's keep failing. 67.82 is my stop loss, so it's like right below this range. So if we do break lower, I'm out. At this point, we are getting weaker in this zone. Buyers are keep failing to bring us higher, but sellers are also failing to bring us lower. So I'm just going to be crazy patient on this. It does look ready to fail. There it is. All right. We are probably... It's again, though, the problem is it looks good for longs. It does. So I might wait for a strong buying bubble like this one again to consider getting back in. And at that point, I'll probably go... it was a good 1-minute candle right there. Look at the 1 on crude over here. And it's that 5 that made me bullish, because that 5 still doesn't have an upper wick either. Alright, there's 91. We'll try a fill on crude one more time long there, guys. This has got to be the last time we're trying longs, though. Can't let it keep chopping us up. We had that one great trade, and that one great trade is what keeps us crazy green in the market, guys. All you need is one great trade. If I wasn't streaming, most likely I would have took that one great trade, turned my computer off, and gone about my day. So I gotta ask myself, what can I do psychologically to not overtrade when I'm streaming for you guys, right? Now, what can I do? I could maybe log out of my broker account. I could maybe have it so the broker account locks me out at a certain point. 45 seconds left. Really want to see good buying. That was a pretty good buying bubble, but not the strongest. Sellers are stepping back in yet again. Don't really want to play with house money too much like that. $20 seconds left. Still not looking ideal for longs. Really needed a good buying bubble, a good buying pressure, just like that. Just like that. We need a break above this 92, 93 area with good buying, and we should see a move higher. Okay, so that's some good buying pressure right there on crude. It was coming out of this zone 2 still, so I'm going to hold these. We'll see. We'll see if this is the play. $15 looks okay for a reversal. $15 looks like it could take out the lows before it reverses, though. So we're in these crude longs. We're holding right now. Stop loss is at 81. Entries at 91. 10-point stop loss. 10-tick stop loss. 10 points on crude. I got in at 67. My risk is at 57. That would be crazy. Really want to see good buying. Buying is trying to step in here. The problem is they're having trouble bringing us higher. Really need to see a strong impulse move here. Really need to see a break of structure. Without that, we're probably just going to fail it again. Give me a good buying. Give me a good break. Crude oil market pulse is bullish at the moment. It's trying to be at least, but the volumes keep pushing bearish, which again is a huge red flag for these longs. The problem is, though, we still haven't broken this zone yet, and that's why I've been trying these longs. But at some point, you just got to be like, it ain't worth it. I want to see support under us. Without support under us, we're just going to break lower again. And if we break lower again, let me tell you who doesn't want to be in longs. This guy. As we try to break lower again. Yeah, it's working on my stop right there. Let's just wait a sec. It's like 2 ticks away from my stop. We'll wait one more time on this. 247. Ooh, ran it. That's alright. We're still nice green on the day, guys. Still nice green on the day. What else could we watch? Crude, ES, NQ. 15-minute. No. Garbage price action today. Garbage. Potential for this being the bottom of our range on NASDAQ. Look at that crude dump. Like I said, if buyers kept failing, there's no reason we don't just dump right through that zone. So again, we caught this nice 4-to-1 this morning. Took like 2 more small losses. That's alright. That is alright. Because those losses were very small. Extremely small. I'm looking at NASDAQ for potential longs. I don't like the chop we're in today. Very poor range. It's hot in here, man. I'm trying to think. 17. I like crude to reverse. I'm sorry, crude. Gold. Oh my goodness. NASDAQ to reverse here. Dixie pumping higher. Gold finding some support at demand. Crude with a nice pop on the 1 minute. Just hard to trust it at this point, but you know, it's got to stop hunt before it can continue. I'm watching gold right now too. See if it wants to hold this demand zone. I can't believe crude does look like it's going to continue. But I feel like I'd have to be crazy to try again long. At least let the 5 close. Four to 1 setup on crude. Oh, I said it looked like it wanted to break lower before it continued too on crude. The problem is it's hard to again chase another long on crude after trying a few times. It does look good for longs, I'll give it that. Because we broke that level, we broke that zone, and then it looks like we're trying to reverse on the 5. But it also looks bearish, it looks weak. We get a big buy bubble here. I'll look to enter somewhere around here. I like it because we don't have an upper wick on the 5 minute. I don't like it because we've just been so weak and we've been failing. I am back in a long on crude, and this has to be my last trade of the day. Stop loss is the low of the fair value gap. I know we broke it, but I'm looking for a reversal here. I really want to see if we can go take out those highs on crude. Because look at these candles, look at these lower wicks. If this 5 reverses, wouldn't that just make sense? Wouldn't that just make sense to see a strong move here on the 5 minute, big green 5 minute candle? So I'm just trading what makes sense. I'm trading what makes sense. And I hope that makes sense. That's right. But hindsight's consistently consistent. Hey, crude. Alright. That's what I'm talking about. Make it make sense. Period. Period. But Kevin, wouldn't it make sense that this pop fails? Shit. Yes, it would make sense that this pop fails. No, I'm just playing. Yes, it would make sense for this pop to fail. But I'm looking for support here. I'm, again, looking for this zone to hold. We had a nice sweep on this candle, and we have lower wicks on these candles. That's why I want to see if we could push higher. How's the 30 look? How's the 15 look? 15 closes in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 30 also closes. Oh no, 16 minutes. If we could get a close on the 15 up here, that would be wild. I don't think we will. There we go, crude. There we go, yo. There we go, yo. So what's the scenario? I'm just nervous that longs fail because they've been failing. But, this might be the move we were waiting for. That 5 minute looked good, finally. 50 seconds left in the 5 minute. Good buying pressure. We're gonna hold this for a sec. Nice. Love it, Crude. Love it, Crude. Great trade here on Crude, guys. Long at 84, stop loss at 74. I want to target a new high a day at 53. 701. 701. Ew, gross. That's crazy. 15 seconds in this 5. I wanted the 15 to close red, but if the 15 could also close strong, that's fine with me. I'm not going to complain. Okay, new 15 here. New 5 here. Want to see a push lower to create a wick, and then a push higher. So now I'm expecting us to take this low out and to at least come back to this high right here. The problem is sellers. They're always the problem. Am I right or am I right? Come on, bulls. Don't be bulling me. We're holding these longs, moving my stop loss up a little. And again, I'm at the point where it's like I don't want to take any loss on this trade at all, but that's impossible because then I wouldn't be giving it room to breathe. So we have to be crazy patient on this 5 minute. Crazy discipline, so I might turn it into a scalp. The 5 just looks good to hold, and that's why I want to hold. The problem is 15, 30, it's okay. Maybe we touch the zone one more time. The problem is we broke it, but it's like that break could have been a liquidity grab. Which happens with those zones often. Really want to see buyers hold it here now. $309 left in this 5 minute. That looks like an okay 1 minute, but we're going to be patient. Really want to see buyers step in. There we go, Crude. Want to see this green. Want to see this 5 minute push green and stay strong, guys. I want to see this thing fly. But sellers keep stepping in, which tells me that flight might be delayed. Hey, what's going on? Cool, man, cool. I feel like cutting it short just to lock in gains, but I feel like the moment I lock in gains, it's going to pop. So I really just want to be patient, yeah. But then I'm not giving it room to breathe. It could go wick me out and then continue. I get that, though. I do that most of the time, sometimes. There we go, 5. There we go, 5. Run it, baby, run it. I want a strong move above that purple level. I hate when it reacts to a level I want to see it break. Because that just means other people are watching it, too. Okay, Crude. Okay. Okay. Oh, call me up. Call me up. Oh, Crude. You shouldn't have. Oh, Crude. Oh, Crude. Give me one more pump, Crude. One more pump. I really need that. Make my day. Bring us another push. I won't be greedy, I promise. Minute 12 left in this 5. Let's see if it rides. Let's see if it rides. Like you never done before. You can roll me, baby. Kiss me. Oh, Crude. You shouldn't have. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. Trust yourself. Trust your analysis. If you're not there, trust my analysis. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's very cocky to say. I'm gonna get out next pump higher because I want to lock in gains. I am above my daily profit. 30 seconds left. It's trying to reject. Oh, wait. But I do want to let this winner run. I don't want to just lock in gains to lock in gains. We have a 5-minute closing soon with good buying momentum. I want to let it ride. Putting stop above break even. 6 seconds. If we could close in this area, I'll hold. Oh, crude. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, crude. Wow. I'm gonna get all out there. I'm above my daily target. That's awesome. That's beautiful. I love it. Love to see it. That's what's up, gang. That's awesome. Guys, let me know. Are you guys in longs? Who told me they were in long with me before? Beautiful Moonshift. That's awesome. That's great. We're probably going to go to this purple level. That would have been a great take profit. Looking at this trade, this was I caught that 4-1. That's beautiful. Again, just that 4-1 seems to be my bread and butter. This would have been an 8-1. I do think it will continue. That's great buying momentum. I'm long, but MNQ, nice. Okay. Let's check out our NASDAQ and ES, right? We want to know what they're doing. Ooh, sort of chopping. NASDAQ has been... I would be careful with any type of longs you take on the NASDAQ because lately, the NASDAQ has been a lot weaker compared to the ES. I'll show you... So, like, right over here, we were consolidating from 10 to about 11. For a full hour, we were consolidating on the ES. Meanwhile, the NASDAQ had a nice, strong break. It was a lot weaker. If we're looking at... Let's look at 1 minute. Oh, where'd that go? Wow, crude's still going. There's that purple level on crude. Oh, well, I don't want to yeah, there it is. There it is right there. That's beautiful, guys. I love when that happens. What a great Friday. I keep calling it Friday. What a great Monday. No, stop. Don't play with me. It's Monday. The market just makes every day feel like a Friday. What can I say? Oh, especially when crude treats you so well like that. And guys, I'm telling you, when crude's treating me well, more likely than not, we're seeing ranges and crap on NASDAQ and the ES. And it's just so often this happens. And I'll just be like, no, I have 4 for a reason. ES and NQ, those work hand in hand with each other. Those will help each other. If those two are having trouble, crude oil and gold have nothing to do with each other, but they're different futures. They're different stocks, tickers, equities, whatever. Not equities, but you get what I'm saying. They're different futures to trade, so they're going to have different ranges and different price action. ES and NQ have big movement against each other, so if one's trending, a lot of times the other's trending with it. Crude oil doesn't do that to gold. Gold doesn't do that to crude. So crude moves on its own. Gold, for the most part, moves on its own, sometimes with the dollar and stuff. But other than that, they're their own charts. They have their own ranges. They will trade differently. So if NASDAQ and ES are chopping, crude and gold are popping. I'm going to show y'all real quick. So this was that Express account I was telling you guys about earlier. I wanted to try Top Step. So now that I brought the total balance from 0 to 2,000, it brings my trail stop now, or my stop loss, to 0, right? So with Top Step, they don't have a trail stop like Apex does. They have a hard stop that activates when the day is over. So now mine will activate and bring it back to 0. So because it's bringing it to 0, I'm just going to cash out 1,000 on it, right? So you could cash out 50% of your account. I'm going to try to cash out 1,000, so it sort of leaves me with $1,000 account. That way, I will only have, so yes, that will mean I have a $1,000 stop loss instead of a $2,000, but now I'm securing my profits in this account. If the market shifts on me and starts running against me and I didn't take those profits and I blow the account, or if I start losing money on the account and I bring it back to $1,000 anyways, I'm going to be a little, not disappointed, but I'm going to be frustrated in the sense that I told myself I should have done A, B, and C. Now, if I bring it back to $1,000 account, I could then start slowly. I could take it from the 1,000, risk anywhere from about maybe $100 a trade, and grow that. Risk 100, 150 to make 4 to 5, like we did just today, right? And that will be another easy and chill way to make us back to the 2,000, 3,000 and start to build that cushion again. So that's why I sort of do like Top Step. Their payout process is apparently quicker and better. So we'll test that out ourselves. I'll let you guys know. But great stuff today. Great stuff today. Great stuff. We got NASDAQ selling off right now. Yes. Look at it. Ooh, ES, gross. Look at these icebergs on ES up here, though. Some icebergs to the downside, too. But I would recommend, I still do recommend if you're starting out with trading, if you still consider yourself new or you're not profitable yet, I would still recommend starting with Apex. Few reasons for that. They're cheaper. That's a huge reason, because if you're not consistent yet, you would much rather go the cheaper route and save some money if you blow a few evals and not feel that emotional attachment. They do offer more copy trading, which is okay when you get consistent. What I would recommend for you guys is try to find your strategy, try to find your style, pass an eval or two on Apex, and then when you feel confident, either try to trade those 2 funded accounts. Try to make sure you have 2 funded, but you cannot trade both of them the same day. You have to give yourself rules, because what will happen is you'll end up blowing one. Let's say you blow one, because it will happen. You're still considerably new. You'll blow one, and then you'll feel the need that you have to make it back on the other one. And then what happens? The other follows in the footsteps. Yo, good stuff, Zeke. Good stuff, Zeke. My boy Zeke. I think he's still on the YouTube too. Yup, 70 sins. What's up, what's up? Just took a crazy trades, good trades. Took a few trades today, but that was great. Keeping your losses super small and your wins much bigger. That's awesome, dude. Love it. All right. Crude, I'm glad I got out where I got out. I got out over here. We left, what, 4 cents on the table, which is 40 bucks. I don't care about $40. That's okay. Let's see. I do still think it could take out this high up here. We're taking out a 5-minute. We're holding a 5-minute fair value gap, I should say. But I'm not looking for any other trades today. I am at my target. I am done for the day. And I will stick to my word this time. It is 9:27, man. 9:27. Up 700 on the small account, so that's good. What'd I say? Did I? Wow. I'm foggy. 10:27. Now, guys, if you feel as if crude or gold, they're not for you, you don't want to start trading other things yet, that's okay, too. You could look for well, not for nothing, but you could look for micros, right? You could look for micro gold, micro crude, silver, micro silver, and find something that works for you. Oh, you hear that ticking? I think crude's going to continue. I don't know. You know what? Look at this. It was the pole, the flag pole, the bear flag, or bull flag, I should say, and then push higher. So that's what I would sort of wait for crude. Wait for this 5 to close. Ooh, look at that big John Wick right there, guys. You know that trapped a lot of people to the buy side. Wow, 1,000 lots right there on ES. That's nuts. On the icebergs. ES is back in demand. So again, the reason I knew we were going to range today on ES and NQ is because I saw where we were opening. We were opening on the ES right here, 9:30 open. So we were opening in demand, so it gave us an impulse move. Now, if we were opening them from a demand zone, this impulse move should have some strength. It should create maybe a 15-minute fair value gap. It should have some momentum and continuation, right? So this red candle should have been a green candle pushing higher, creating that fair value gap, and then we should have been able to get the retest and a long entry. However, because we failed that, that just tells me the bottom of our range is the demand zone. Don't go short. We're still coming into demand. Same with the NASDAQ. Now, NASDAQ swept a demand zone, but a lot of times we'll see us sweep a demand zone just to reverse afterward. So I was looking for that on the NASDAQ, which we did not get on the 15 either. So it's really just a game of patience. I see that we're ranging. I understand that we're ranging. And I knew that we would range because of our location at the open. Yo, check out Crude. Whoa, did Crude reverse? Yo, that's crazy. Wow. Thank goodness, am I right? That's nuts. That's great. Love Crude, guys. Love Crude. You guys got any questions, let me know. You guys want to go over any charts, let me know. Look at gold, look at the dollars pumping higher. Let's check out our VIX. Our VIX also tells us, which direction we should be going or if we should be ranging. Now the VIX, if we look at the VIX right here, we have to find our previous day high and low. So we have our previous day high right there. Previous day low, we don't need to mark out. So that means if we're pushing higher, that's bearish, right? So already I see that the VIX is above its previous day, which is a bearish sign on the market. Now, because of that, I would then say, okay, well, if the VIX is showing me bearish, but the ES is still trying to push bullish, I would really need to see a strong move on the VIX to the downside to tell me that we might move back higher. We're starting to get that now on this 5-minute, but we have a lot of selling pressure we're running into on the ES right here. So I would need strength on the VIX to push lower, I would need ES strength to push higher, and then we'll probably have our move we're waiting for. Wow, crude oil, guys, touched that zone again. This is where we chopped, right? We tried longs here, stopped out there for like a little $10 gain. Tried another long there. We stopped out because we had our stop loss a little tight. Tried one more, got stopped out, but then what happened? We stayed patient and we looked at our 5-minute chart. We were able to grab longs here at 84. Rode them all the way up. Ooh, to 20, man. 4.5 to 1 risks or rewards. So again, I'm taking, look at these paper cuts. This isn't even a loss. This one right here, got in at 90, got out at 82, that's $80. In at 90, out at 82. Is that the same thing? Is that the same thing? What? No, that can't be right. 82... $80. All right, whatever. So minus 160. Then I get in at 84, and I get out at 20, plus like 300 something, plus 400 something. So again, it's just a matter of keeping your winners larger. Look for these good risks or reward setups, and monitoring and managing your risk. As traders, it's almost like we aren't even traders. We're risk managers. That's what we do. We are risk managers. We are not traders. There's that VIX drop, like I mentioned. ES pop, beautiful. Love to see it. I am not in any ES longs right now. I do feel like this is going to be our trend. The market chopped around for a good hour since open. Now we could maybe look for a potential 15-minute fair value gap or something to create out of this demand zone. Again, I've been a bit more leaning bullish today because of the demand zones that we're at. Nice move on the NASDAQ. Big drop on the VIX, guys. Go ES, go. Huge drop on the VIX. Huge. I was just saying that about like 20 cents ago on the VIX. And guys, it's super important when you're learning to trade, whether it doesn't really matter at what point you are in your trading career, in your trading journey. Always, if you're trading something, you have to be consistent with it and you have to stick with it. Do not strategy hop. Don't go from one strategy to another strategy, supply and demand to ICT to support and resistance to key levels to the strat to price action. No, pick something and fine tune it. For me, it was supply and demand. I focus my supply and demand zones. So it's almost like a tier list of strength, right? So think of the presidency. It goes the president, the vice president, then what, Secretary of State, or something like that. I don't know exactly. Don't quote me on that. I know stocks. I don't know any of that stuff. But there's a list, right? There's an order. There's a hierarchy. My hierarchy goes supply and demand, number 1. Risk management, I don't want to put risk management in this. We're talking market structure right now. So supply and demand is number 1. If we're coming into a supply zone, but I see a potential long setup from my hierarchy number 3, I don't give a shiznit what that hierarchy number 3 says. Because my hierarchy number 1 tells me we're running into resistance. Wow, yes, I knew this thing was going to keep going too. That's crazy. Love that VIX, man. Love that VIX. VIX, weighted index, everything, dude. Everything is right in front of us. There is no need for any indicators. Sorry, not sorry. There is not. Supply and demand, you can mark it yourself. I'll teach you how to do it. Support and resistance, same idea. We just look at a higher time frame and we find major areas of liquidity. This major swing right here. Look how we reacted to it in demand. We're getting a reversal from it. Same with the NASDAQ. This bottom of demand could have worked as a area of support. Look how we reacted to it. It's so important to understand that the higher time frame is above any lower time frame, and come up with your strategy, come up with your concept, and create a hierarchy of the rules and of your system. Supply and demand is number 1 for me. Time frame analysis is number 2. And then we have whatever other ICT, bookmap. Bookmap is a very close number 2, but we'll call it 3rd. So time frame analysis. We have supply and demand, bookmap, and then ICT concepts, smart money. I don't even like calling them ICT concepts. He just rebranded smart money concepts. So smart money concepts, and then again, just using things like the VIX, the weighted index. Everything in the market is given right to us. There's nothing hidden in plain sight. The market isn't manipulating you only. I've seen so many videos lately where like there'll be a new trader trying to make an Instagram for himself, and he'll be like, the market manipulated me today. And I think if my eyes rolled any further back, I would get a strike. Because it's just so ridiculous to think the market manipulated me. Like, the market is watching you and going, that's who I want to stop out. There's one person who's probably on a demo account. That's who I want to liquidate. No way. No way. I'll tell you what's happening. They're putting their stop losses where they should be looking to enter. Look at this break right here on the ES, right? We were thinking, oh, we're going to continue. VIX dropped. No, the 5 minute, the 1 minute, yeah, it gave us a nice little push, right? But 15 minute, 30 minute, we were coming into this recent high. And this recent high on ES, on the NASDAQ, we didn't take out that recent high. We're creating divergence. Now comes my time frame analysis, coming over any type of VIX or anything, and I see this time frame analysis is telling me potential divergence. So I would be patient then. I wouldn't be looking for a breakout here. I would note that yes, the ES is much stronger than the NASDAQ right now, but I would be very careful with longs. I knew we would have a pullback. I knew there'd be some type of resistance. We took out this high on ES without taking the high out on the NASDAQ. And we've been ranging all day. So if we've been ranging all day, why? Somebody tell me why, if we've been ranging all day, would I expect us to continue trend now? There is no reason to assume we're going to continue trend without actually visually seeing we're continuing trend. Now, I know people think, oh, well, once we do continue trend, I'm going to miss out on the move. I'm not going to have my entry. Wrong. Wrong. If we're having a trend, guess what? Trends pull back. Trends have legs. And those legs, those pullbacks, those are our entries. The first leg, the first move that shows that we are trending, that is just to give us confirmation. Confirmation is so important. I haven't talked about confirmation in so long, but confirmation is right up there with supply and demand. So confirmation is the unspoken. Confirmation and risk management, hand in hand, will save your accounts. Risk management to make sure you're not risking more than 100, 150. And then what was the other one? Confirmation to make sure you're not just entering any BS trade. Give me a demand zone, give me a liquidity sweep, but tell me that people are probably bearish at this point. Give me something. Give me the VIX pushing lower. Give me something to say, yes, this is going to happen. There's a higher probability of this happening. Those are the trades we look to take. Let's take a quick look at Crude, because I do think we're past now that purple level. Check this out on Crude, guys. It tapped into this zone one more time, and then it reversed. So again, that 15-minute fair value gap has been huge on Crude Friday, and now today, Monday. So tomorrow, I'm going to be looking for the same thing. And I'm going to look for that until I don't see it anymore. And that's just it. That's all we got to do. Just look for the same things to repeat in the market. Create your pre-market plan. Have your zones mapped out. Make sure you guys check out the recent live stream I hosted on Saturday where we already did some pre-market plans for the week. Really great stuff. Fantastic stuff. Great work. Great trade. You're in a NASDAQ short? Now, I would be careful because even though we do... What's that? Yep. Okay, so yeah, I mean, me personally, I wouldn't look for any shorts here because ES is still a bit stronger, and a lot of times if ES does hold that strength, it's harder for the NASDAQ to push lower, but if ES does fail this key level of 57.91, this would be a fantastic spot to go short because we do still have that divergence. This would be a great spot to go short. That is... It's a cockeyed head and shoulders. He's got a tick on his shoulder. Okay, alright, that's a good scalp. Just gotta be careful when we're scalping because a lot of times it's hard to gauge, it's take profit of 15 and a stop loss of 15. But if you could keep it where it's like a stop loss of like 7 or 9 and a take profit of 15 or 20, then you're sort of making it more 2 to 1, 3 to 1. And it helps to not only grow the account with strength and momentum, but it helps that if you do hit a losing streak or you hit a couple losses in a row, it doesn't mentally drain you and you start questioning everything you do. Because that's a big thing too. You could stick to supply and demand all you want, but if you end up hitting a losing streak, and as a new trader, when you hit a losing streak, your first thought is, my strategy doesn't work. My strategy doesn't work, but you have to realize every strategy works. Every strategy works, just like every strategy doesn't work. The 200 EMA, that works. The 9 EMA, that works. 21, that works. Fib, that works. There you Exactly. Now let me tell you why everything works. Because everything doesn't work. And it all makes sense when you really think that, okay, well, everything works, well, why? Because everything needs more than just a strategy. It's not just supply and demand. It's risk management into it. It's not just fair value gaps. It's understanding, do I put my stop loss at the bottom of the fair value gap? Do I enter at the top of it? Do I wait for us to hold it? It's understanding all these different concepts. It's understanding daily. Wow, there's that final TP on Crude. That's insane. It's understanding different areas of take profit understanding different market strength and weakness, understanding when it is okay to go long after a bearish day. You don't always have to be following a daily bias. You just read the candles and read the price action and consistently be showing up. When you show up every day to the market, it will reward you. Over time, you got to think, it takes how many years for a doctor to become a doctor? How many years for a lawyer to become a lawyer? And now you want to go learn how to be a profitable trader in 6 months? I'd hate to be the person to break it to you, but without someone holding your hand like a mentor, that's a little absurd to expect that much. That's crazy. Crude's going to keep going. With that being said, with the mentor, with somebody teaching you, that will absolutely cut that time in half, if not into a quarter, a fraction. Because what that does is when you're finding that mentor, you're finding even a trading community, you're finding a group of people that are where you want to be. And when you find that, they're able to help you, they're able to guide you, they're able to say, oh no, don't look at this, that'll just distract you, that's not worth it, that blah blah blah. Well, here, look at this instead, right? And they could guide you, they could give you the proper guidance you really need to trade profitably without having to go through 5,000 YouTube videos. That reminds me, I did want to create a playlist. I'm going to create a playlist, guys, so as you guys know, I do have a bunch of smart money concept videos out, but I don't have a playlist holding all of them, so I want to create a playlist for you guys. Create new playlist. Smart money concepts. Because again, even if you're just joining the live streams, and I go live here on YouTube Monday, Friday, go live on Twitch Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're following someone who I've been profitable is it 3 years? Almost 3 years now. It's crazy. Time flies. You think, oh, well, he's only been doing it 3 years. No, I've been doing it 6 years, been profitable over 3 now. 5 years? 6 years? I don't know anymore. I got sick and I lost track of time and I just cared about trading. And that too. When I got sick, guys, a lot of new people in here don't know, I got crazy sick back when COVID started. I'm not talking about sick with COVID. I mean like intestines failing. It was horrible and the hospital screwed me up, practically tried to kill me in all reality. But beat the odds. Just like trading, we have to beat the odds of being that 10% to be successful. We have to beat the odds. We have to really put our foot down because the only thing we have control over in this world is how we react to things. The only thing we have control other than that is our response to those things. And if we could have a better response to some things, we could have better control of the situation. And when a situation isn't in our favor, that's okay because that's going to happen sometimes in life. That's just life. We take advantage of it. We take the bull by the horns and we say, I'm not giving up here. I'm going to continue. I'm going to figure out what strategies for me. I like scalping. I'm going to figure out a good maybe 2-to-1 risk reward system that I net 60% win rate and I'm profitable with because 2-to-1, 60% win rate, more than profitable. That's great. So whatever it is you have to do, I don't know what you have to do as a trader personally. I'm not you. I can only help guide. I'm sort of saying this to everybody individually, people that I've mentored. I have a few people in the Bullishbrs community that I've had sessions with. I can't tell you exactly. I could teach you my strategy, every little nick and piece, and that's great. But if you're still not comfortable trading on a 5-minute or holding for 30, 40 minutes, then guess what? You might be better off scalping, and I can help you figure out zones and scalping methods too. But that's just not my strategy, right? So again, it's just a matter of finding what works, and changing it so it suits and fits your style and your persona. Now that I'm... Of course, that happens quite often, right? Where you're like, oh, well, because it becomes the mindset too of, oh, well, if I could scalp and get consistent with scalping, then I just have to, size up and grab all these little moves and I'm good for the day. But then it came to the point where, me personally, I was having trouble finding a good scalping strategy. I was finding trouble finding consistency with taking multiple trades a day. It was not for me. It was becoming more mentally and emotionally draining on myself and my account that it just wasn't worth it, right? So I said, okay, so you know what? Maybe no more scalps. And scalps are okay. I do still scalp sometimes. And when I say scalp, I still mean maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, not a scalp like a 30-second chart. It will happen. I will take a breakout if I'm using Bookmap and we're breaking a zone. I will take a breakout with Bookmap. But other than that, usually just looking for my setups, I'm looking for my zones. And the reason zones and levels are so important is because we're looking for a reaction off of those zones, right? We're waiting for something to happen there. Now, if we're in the middle of nowhere and we're not near any zones or any levels, then I know to be patient. I know not to scalp if we're in the middle of nowhere, right? If we're in the middle of a range and we could go up or down, I don't want to scalp that higher. I don't want to scalp it lower. I want to be patient and see how we react when we get higher. How do we react when we push lower? Yep. Okay. Good, of course, of course. I can make more videos like that too, because our mental plays a huge role into it. And we have to remember strategy, supply and demand, as much as it is a strategy. It's sort of just a concept of reading the stock market and understanding where buying and selling pressure is. Supply and demand is not going to get you a good 4-to-1 risks or reward, an 8-to-1 risks or reward, whatever it is I'm looking for, right? Supply and demand is going to tell me if we're bullish or bearish, if we've been strong to one direction, if we've been creating zones, if we've been weak to one direction, how we've been reacting recently to these zones. So it's more of using supply and demand to read the market. So it's like without supply and demand, if I was just looking at candles, gibberish. But with supply and demand, I could read it just like a book. Just read it just like a book. Okay, well, we're in a demand zone. We're opening in a demand. We might range around a bit. We're opening in demand. Well, I know that lately the NASDAQ has been much weaker. So I'm expecting ES to push out of this demand. NASDAQ, there's a good chance it'll fail it. Exactly what happened. It's just understanding the zones, and that's step number one. Number two would be trading those zones, scalping the lower time frames, and that's where you could use things like fair value gaps, optimal trade entries, all this fun stuff. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, zones are great. Zones are huge. And I'm always willing to always go over whatever you guys want. I can make a supply and demand video once a week if you guys want me to. We have a supply zone up here. Now, this isn't the best supply, and I'm sure you guys know why by now. But because this wick is much stronger to the downside than it is to the upside. I'd much rather see a longer wick to the upside on a supply zone, because that tells me that there are a lot of buyers trapped. So we're just going to mark this out. This is an area of interest, and also the supply zone doesn't even reach to that recent high up here. So I do feel like we might maybe react off this zone, but then I think we're going to break it. I can't believe Crude is still going. That is crazy. So cray cray. We go to 4-to-1. This was an 8-to-1, man. That's something, but I ain't stressing. That's alright. And again, we saw that Friday. Crude gave us the same type of setup. A little different. Friday, we didn't break the 15-minute. We held it both times. This time, we held it once. All-time new high right there. Swept that high, swept VWAP. But then we broke it right here and reversed after we broke it. So we grabbed liquidity, and then we were able to go for that high again. Pull back, make a higher low, and now go make another higher high. So zones, when we make lower time frame zones, when we see our levels on the lower time frame, it really helps to understand how tight we're getting on ranges, where people are stopping out, where people are getting in, and where we should be looking for reactions. We should always be looking for a reaction of the high for potential short, or reaction of the most recent low for potential long. Because we have to remember, people are doing the opposite of that. And if we have people doing the opposite, for every buyer, there has to be a seller. So that is perfect. Hey, what's going on? Yes, I'll bring that up right now. So we have Meta, Microsoft, and Apple are like my main three. Amazon is a very close third because Amazon does have a big impact on the Nasdaq and the ES especially because of where it's at right now. Above 180 is huge on Amazon. Do we have earnings today? No, that scared me. This is usually what they look like on earnings. Truist Securities has raised its price target from Amazon to 265 from 230. So we had a price target raise. A lot of times when we get that, we get a pullback because again, they announce a price target raise, and what does all retail do? Oh, they're bullish. They're raising the price target. We gotta go long. And what's the market do? It dumps. So this is my setup: Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, and then the weighted index. Oh man, yeah, the weighted. If you have trading view like I think which one is it? Trading view for the plus plan, you could have up to 4 charts. So I would recommend that one. Because even though I have the premium, so I have like 8 charts, I could use 6 over here. If you have 4, what I would recommend you did would be maybe keep 2 stocks in the top left and top right, and do the weighted index on the left and do the VIX on the right. That way, your main chart, or yeah, you know what? You could even, if you have 4 charts, you could do ES and Q VIX weighted index. Keep the weighted index somewhere closer to the NASDAQ, more relative to the NASDAQ. Yeah. Nope. Yeah, so I don't use them. I don't look at any other factors other than what we're seeing here. So Japan, the dollar, even the dollar I don't really watch. I will keep an eye out for economic data because that will help impact the market, but only for US markets, right? So if we're on TradingView, select countries, usually it's under entire world. I only do USA. And then a lot of times I will hit this button right here, only high importance, and it will show me exactly what's strong coming up. So tomorrow's the first. We have ISM manufacturing at 10 o'clock. That's pretty strong. We have JOLTS job openings at 10 o'clock. That's really strong. So that's tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Let's be ready for that. But other than that, Japan, stuff like that does not usually make that big of an impact on our ES and NASDAQ markets. Sometimes if there's like, oh, we're going to war, something like that will definitely cause an impact. And that's more news related. That's something that I'll get a notification on my phone for. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm American. Not again. I'm gonna start dumping tea out into the harbor. I got you. I got you. I still do coaching too. You let me know, but you start with Creed. That's fine. I won't take it too personally. No, I'm just kidding. That's true. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alright, guys, I just put together a playlist on YouTube for you guys. A smart money concept playlist. It's out of order right now. I'll probably put it more in order. And I shared it right in the Discord, Smart Money Concepts. That way, all those videos are sort of linked up. These are great because these are things that I use every single day. Divergence, breaker blocks, yes and no. Buy side and sell side liquidity is a must, must, must. And what is a fair value gap? Just sort of basic ones, and the liquidity ones, very, very important. I'll probably throw some other stuff in there too. Every day, text somebody, message somebody if you want. You have my Instagram, you got my Discord. You can message me every day with your trade recap because then over time you're going to feel that sense of, oh my god, what's the word I'm looking for? Yup, exactly. Because you're not just taking trades, right? It's not just like, oh, you could take a trade here. Let me try to scalp this. You're going to stop and you're going to say, well, wait a minute. What am I going to tell Kevin if I jump in here and this hits my stop loss? That what I just wanted to jump in for the sake of jumping in. No, I don't, that doesn't sound right. I need a reason. He wants me to have confirmation. I don't see any confirmation right now. And that could really help keep you out of some extra trades. To know that you have to sort of report back to someone. Yeah. If for I love what you did. You made a whole Instagram where you were journaling your trades. That was freaking awesome. That's great. And guys, I would recommend any of you create an Instagram, create a Facebook. If you don't want to make it public, you can make a private Instagram. Or even if you want to just save it in your notes, but screenshot your days, screenshot your trades, and just write a little report on it. I tried this position at this point because I felt like A, B, and C. And this is where I kept my stop loss, because if we hit my stop loss, that would mean that my trade analysis was incorrect. And that's it. Over time, what you'll see is you'll start to see results and you'll start to see patterns in your trading. You'll start to see, okay, well, it looks like every time I try a short position into a demand zone thinking we're going to break it, it doesn't work out. And then you could readjust yourself and say, okay, well, now I'm going to create a new rule. I can no longer short if we're near a demand zone. And that is beautiful. It's just the way we have to trade. And guess what? Sometimes, too, that will work in the other sense that, okay, well, I see that every time I try a long, after we fail a demand zone and reverse immediately, those longs do play out. Now you have a setup that you're looking for daily until that trend fades away, right? And again, when I say trend in the market, I never really mean trend bullish or bearish. Sometimes, yes, but I mean more trend of, is the market consistently doing the same thing? It's 11. Finally, it's 11. Good night. Bye. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, imagine. Oh, who passed away? Oh, Dikembe Mutombo. The guy that, no, not today. Not in my house. The weird. I have 7 text notifications. I'm like, what's going on? Fantasy basketball. Of course. Guys, Crude, ES, again, much more bullish on ES. You see how we tried to fail this high, but we kept squeezing near it. We don't really have much supply, right? We don't have any supply zones up here, so I'm bullish, right? I'm thinking we're going to continue, at least until we have this 58.13. That is about, that's really not that far. 20 points on the ES, that's a great trade right there, 20 points on the ES. But I'm not just jumping in right here to jump in. Just can't. Market's ranging. For all I know, we could fail this. We could completely miss that, and we could maybe reject 5,800. And if that's the case, I don't want to be trying to go along here. We could fail right here and keep ranging. Again, because we're ranging, I have zero trust in a trend. God, look at Crude. You know what, Crude? I still thank you. I jumped the gun on the longs on the 5-minute, but I thank you for those amazing trades. The 2 winners today on Crude were both over 4-to-1 risk to reward. That's 8R. Now I had 2 losses. Those are 2R. I'm up 6 risk on the day. That means I could take 4 more wrong trades and still be up 2 risk. And that's exactly how we have to be trading. I'm up actually like 7R today. I'm up 700 with a risk of 100, 150. So about, 6R. We see now on the NASDAQ, every time we come up to this 3-hour demand zone, so this 3-hour demand zone isn't just a zone, but it also gives us key levels, the top of the zone and the bottom of the zone. So I see we reached into it, and we sort of failed it a few times, and now we come in closer and we see that we are again failing this key level once, twice. How's the lower time frame look? Well, it looks like we tried to sweep this, which this little high had a little 1-minute fair value gap over it, which again wouldn't be the strongest because the market is ranging. We don't look for fair value gaps to hold if we're ranging. We look for fair value gaps to hold on a trend or a break and continuation. And again, that's sort of what we got on crude oil today. Really great trades on crude today. This one was freaking awesome. Hey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could try to find something like that on the NASDAQ. Let's see. where did we open? So we opened right here. So we would look for, now this isn't the perfect example because we haven't hit the low yet, but we're sort of given a range pre-market, and that range is this high. It's sort of about, I want to say this low, but the low of the range was really down here. So what we would look for is a manipulation of a high. So this range right here, the high of the range is right here, so we'd look for a manipulation of the high, which would be something like this. And we would look for a reversal at that point, and we would look to take out the lows. Now, we did fail those lows, and in my opinion, the reason we failed those lows is because ES was stronger. Now, when this happens, yes, we had a great setup. Yes, we had a great trade. Yes, it's playing out for the most part. But because of that divergence, I would have looked to probably gotten out of that trade, most likely at this 5-minute fair value gap right here, if not maybe a 15-minute, if we have any 15-minute zones. But I also, again, see supply and demand, again, being the hierarchy, being the king. We have a 15-minute demand zone right here. So that would have been my target. I would have taken the manipulation, and a manipulation is a sweep of a high or a low. Now, what we look for is a reversal once we sweep that high or low, and that's what we look for in the distribution. Now, a lot of times, this will really only occur in a trend. Now, just a couple weeks ago on the ES, for this move right here, and then this move here, every morning, I'm sure you guys remember, but we would start off with the sell-off, which was our manipulation, just for it to pump up and give us a stronger trend and completely annihilate the buy side, right? So it would take out some sell side lows. Let's see. So like right here. Excuse me. Here's a great example. Here's our recent low right here. So mark that out as our sell side. Our recent low right here with a demand zone too, so that's high confirmation. And then we have our high right here. Now what did we get? We got our range. This is our range. We got our manipulation of the low, reversal after the manipulation, and then a strong distribution back higher. Now usually, if it's a good distribution, it should displace the highs, and it should give us some type of trend to continue, just like this. But because at this point, market wasn't even closed till about, where's 4? Market doesn't close till here. So we were at a key level, probably at some supply. Yeah, look, this is that top right there. So we would have gone for the next high. So basically, when we look for accumulation, manipulation, and distribution, we look for the accumulation, which is our range, to create some type of major low or high. And then we look for a reaction off that low, so we could reverse and go target the high. Or we look for a reaction off the high, so we could reverse and go target that low. So today, I'm just going to call, give me 1 second, guys. Alright, sorry ladies and gents. I just realized we've been at this stream for quite some time. Anybody have any last minute questions? It's funny, I almost don't want to wrap it up, but I'm not taking any more trades, so we'll call it a day. Of course. Awesome. Yeah, and yo, don't forget, I'm live on Twitch too. You don't need a Twitch account to view it. It's right in there we go. But yeah, if you hit my account and then go to my profile, I'm in streamer mode, but it'll be right there. Just hit Twitch Kevin or Futures Kevin, Kevin Futures, whatever it is, and I'll be there tomorrow. We'll catch some trades tomorrow for sure. There you go. That's tough. You got to get two monitors then. One for one for the other. All right. Yeah. Take care, everybody.